Welcome to the Get Real Podcast, your high-octane boost of full-on reality therapy for personal, business, and investing success with your host, Ron Phillips, because somebody's got to tell it like it is.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Get Real Podcast. Ron Phillips here with some more earth-shattering news. This one, I doubt you've heard of. This one. It goes back to something that we've already talked about. I'm going to try to end the show on something positive because the first part of the show is not going to be super positive. But you guys need to understand what's happening out there. I think I like to live in a world where I steer clear of the negative news. But there is a movement. I've been talking about it on the show for quite some time. There is a movement out there about housing that is for Americans who have owned property and have done well. Your parents, your grandparents, you, hopefully your children. This is not good news. I mean, it's just not good news. Now, I do think that what I'm going to talk about ultimately is going to hit a brick wall, and God help us if it doesn't. But the people who are capitalists need to understand what's happening, and they need to make their voices heard. Because the angry few, this is not going to be contained to the coasts. It's just not. This is coming to a town near you. So a couple of weeks ago, I don't remember how long ago, we talked about Mamdani's plan in New York City. And that by itself was scary enough. But he has appointed a woman named Sia Weaver. I think that's how you say her name. This woman is on camera saying some remarkably concerning things. And so I just wanted to, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Mamdani's thing. That's nuts. It's crazy. But what this lady who has been appointed as the new housing, I don't know what the appropriate term for her. She's in charge of housing in New York City. She said some legit scary things. Quote, "We decided that fighting for rent control was strategic and a critical first step in the fight for full social housing." For those of you who don't speak communist, let me just help you understand real quick. Rent control, not the goal. That's just one of the weapons in their arsenal to be able to get what they really want. Full social housing. Okay? With it, we're able to, quote, "We are able to directly challenge housing as a wealth building tool and strike a blow to the entire real estate industry at once." Now, on the show, we have talked about the wealth building of real estate for the average folks. You, me, everyone we know who owns a home. People have owned homes. They've just lived in them, paid them off. They're living in this massive asset that changed their life. They never bought investment property. They never did anything except for just own a house. Now, I want you to listen to this statement again. This is really scary stuff. Quote, "We are able to directly challenge housing as a wealth building tool and strike a blow to the entire real estate industry at once." So what this woman is saying is that your house and your rental properties are not supposed to be wealth building tools. They're not assets that go up in value. that is anti-American. It just does not work with how we view things in America. It's crazy. Quote, the beauty of rent stabilization and rent control is that it weakens the speculative value of the real estate asset. Let me just do this one more time. Quote, the beauty of rent stabilization and rent control is that it weakens the speculative value of the real estate asset. Last show, we talked about affordability of housing, not rent, housing, just in general, buying a property. This is not about affordability. This is about destroying asset value. It is asset value destruction. That is the point of rent control. She just said it. The beauty of rent stabilization and rent control is that it weakens the speculative value of the real estate asset. Now, if you didn't hear what I had to say about Mamdani's crazy new thing that he's doing in New York City, you should go back and listen to the show. Because when you combine that with the comments from the woman that he has appointed to oversee this, it's psychotic from an American perspective. I mean, maybe not in, pick your communist country, but in America, this is certainly crazy. I mean, not even trying to hide it. Beauty of rent stabilization and rent control is that it weakens the speculative value of real estate asset. That is nuts. So, quote, the value is no longer based on what the landlord is able to get, but rather on a state public board deciding how much rent is going up. I mean, people coming to a city near you, I'm telling you, pay attention to the people who are elected to local and state office. Yes, national for sure, but local and state office. They're the ones who dictate this nonsense where you live. This is not okay. It's not okay. The market will dictate what rents are. If they're too much, then people can't afford them. Nobody will be able to live in them, and then the rents will come down. This is government price setting. It is government overreach. It is market manipulation, and it is specifically to benefit the people that the government deems should own the real estate, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Mamdani and the New York City non-elected bureaucrats are going to decide who it is that gets to buy and own these assets. That's just chilling. Yeah, you thought it was over. It's not. Quote, we could weaken the entire industry at once, and that would strengthen our ability to fight for social housing. Might want to look up social housing just so you understand exactly what it is that they want. This is on purpose harm to a market. And if you think because you don't own a high rise in New York City or commercial property where they can do this, that you're safe, you are up in the night. Anyone with private property, that is what they're talking about here. I would just like to point out again, we could weaken the entire industry, the entire real estate industry at once. And that would strengthen our ability to fight for social housing. Folks, taking private property, whether by force or through one of these social programs, is so unconstitutional, I'm surprised they're able to even state it out loud. It is remarkable what they are trying to accomplish. And that they're not even, it used to be back in the day, they would skirt around what they were, then they would confuse the issue with stating things that don't sound so bad. Well, they're done with that now. And the reason they are, I go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. There is a growing movement of people who are frustrated because they can't afford the things that their parents could afford. And that's legit. That's legit. The government has not been a friend to the upcoming generations. And it is not because BlackRock bought some houses that these kids can't afford, because they can't afford groceries either. What has happened over the last many, many years is that the government created a problem that now they are trying to, quote unquote, solve with what they ultimately wanted anyway. Full control over incredible amounts of wealth. And that's unconstitutional. It's un-American. And I'm telling you, if we don't figure this out and speak with our votes, this is coming to a city near you. Now, told you I'd try to end on a positive note. In the meantime, until they, God help you if you live in New York City. Sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. Great city. Love visiting there. Boy, you have voted in some crazy people. In the meantime, I will tell you, if you live in New York and other cities where they're doing these crazy things, you can buy assets outside of where you live. That's the good news. And those will continue to go up in value. And, well, the mayor of New York City can't do anything about it. So let's end on a positive note, talk about why someone would want to do this. There's so many reasons. As a matter of fact, there are so many reasons that someone will want to do this. I think I'm going to just do another show on all of the reasons. And I say all. I'm probably going to miss a whole bunch, but you guys can comment. I'm going to leave you with one. Because I want to end on a positive, and then I'm going to do another show on many, many more of these. The reason people buy real estate as an asset is because they control all of it. You see, when you buy a stock, you only control whatever tiny little fragment of a company that you buy. But when you buy an investment property and rent it out, there's a whole bunch of reasons why it's great. But one of the most standout things about investment real estate is that you own the whole thing. You control all of it. Unless, of course, you live in New York City and Mom Donnie says you don't anymore. I mean, no, I'm supposed to end on a positive. The positive is, if you buy somewhere else, you get to own 100% of the investment. You get to control it. There's a lot that you can do with that control that you can't do with stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to do another show. So come back for that one. And let's talk a little bit about how awesome investment real estate is. Till next time, get out there and make something happen.
This has been the Get Real Podcast. To subscribe and for more information, including a list of all episodes, go to getrealestatesuccess.com.